Hi, welcome to Real Talk with Doug Boude. I'm your host, Doug Boude. Rhymes with loud. No, it's not really a talk show. My name's Doug Boude. I am a LifeVantage distributor. And I'm new on my journey, and I'm encountering and experiencing a lot of things during this growth period that I thought might help other people. It might even help people that have gone through it so long ago that they have forgotten what it was like. Maybe there's something to be drawn from my new experience. I mean, the way we like to watch little babies learn to walk, and I think we can learn things from watching them learn. So maybe there's something to be gained from those longer in the business, from watching me learn how to walk. I'm doing this for myself as well, because a little about me, not my bio so much, except I was organically grown in the wooded farmlands of North Missouri. Most of what I ate growing up did not come from the store, which is a good thing, I think. I appreciate that childhood. When I was 19, I joined the military because I couldn't find a good job to support my new wife and baby, and they told me to come live in San Antonio, the last place on earth I ever wanted to be, because I couldn't stand the heat. I still don't like the heat, but I learned to embrace it and accept it. And once I did that, I could see the beauty around me. So a little sweat trickling down the back, I'm used to it now. And I don't mind it, I just accept it. But the kind of man I am, this is more relevant to my experience growing in LifeVantage, and that is I'm a very passionate man. And that can be a blessing and it can be a curse. It's a blessing when the passion is there, because that passion allows me to do things that I could never do otherwise, and it allows me to go far and excel in whatever I direct that passion at. My flaw in that is that I don't necessarily control that passion. I can't turn it on and off. It's either there or it's not, which can be a problem at times. When you are trying to be consistent in something, and that thing you're trying to do requires passion at the same time, and you're unable to turn it on and off, or at least up until this point have never been able to, that's an issue. And it's not conducive to success in any way, shape, or form. Up until this point in my life, and by the way, I am nearing the completion of my 52nd trip around our beloved yellow dwarf, which means I'm almost 52. I don't feel 52 inside. Mentally, I tend to deviate between probably 38 and 6, depending on what time of day it is and what's happening. I still love cartoons. I love playing catch with my little boy. I still throw fits, even if they're only internally. And I'm still able to think maturely. So I'm a passionate man. I'm an emotional man. I've always been told, you wear your heart on your sleeve. Well, what's wrong with that? I mean, I can't help it anyway. I don't know how to pretend I feel something I don't feel. Which is why my family was very well aware at this last Elite Academy, I keep wanting to call it AE, but it's EA, that I have a problem with the mouse. That mouse, I don't like that mouse at all. He robbed me. He robbed me when I had to pay $10 for a chicken wrap that I didn't want to eat but had no choice, because there was only one store open when I arrived. 90% of it was cakes and cookies, except for that wrap, which was $10, and I had to pay the $10 to eat a wrap I didn't want, and $3 for a bottle of water to wash it down with. And then I got to a very expensive room that looked like, to me, it should have been a $75 room max, but it wasn't, because it was the mouse's room. Anyway, I digress. I don't like the mouse still. But I did learn, I put that aside after the first day. It took me a while. Like I say, I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I was mad. I was mad about the mouse, and I was pouting. But I got over it before the conference started. So I'm a passionate man, but I need to succeed in this business. I have to be consistent at the same time. So this is part of my, I won't say I have problems or struggles. I'm going to say challenges. We all have challenges. Challenges are good things because they're growth opportunities, right? So I have a few notes down here. I'm not reading often, but just to make sure I try to stay on some kind of a course. I'm a lover of knowledge. I'm a seeker of faith, and I strive to connect the two at all times. That is the journey of man. And I'm going to speak and refer to Christianity probably quite a lot because I am a man of faith. I've studied my Bible for years. Not that I understand it all, but I gain those understandings daily, and I put two and two together. And that's what I wanted to mention, is connecting those dots between knowledge and faith. Knowing something, believing something, and doing something are three different things entirely. I'm going to get some Kool-Aid. Drinking the Kool-Aid, and gladly so. It's actually Axio. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. It's early in the morning. I usually have my greatest level of passions when I first wake up. And if I go to bed early-ish, 9-ish, 10-ish, I wake up at 4-ish in the morning-ish. And those are my best times for me personally. So connecting the dots between faith, knowledge, and action. This is crucial. This has to happen with not just me, all of us. And with a lot of you, what I saw at the Elite Academy and what I see in the LifeVantage Academies locally each month, and the meetings and the interactions I have with other LifeVantage family members, it looks like a lot of you guys got your act way together. And I want to be what you are and who you are, where you are. And, you might detect some emotion in me as I go through some of this, because I am an emotional man, and a lot of the things that have happened to me lately in LifeVantage are touching. But I will try to control that, because when I'm emotional, my voice stops working. So I joined in this past August of 2017. My brother introduced it to me. He lives up in the Kansas City area. So my real family lives in Kansas City, in that area. But my adopted LifeVantage family in Austin, who are amazing, and I love them just as much, have been, they're the reason I'm still right here talking this morning, because I am certain I would have chickened out long before this if it wasn't for them and their loving, sharp stick pokes. I currently have only 3. I say only, and you can tell the disappointment in my voice, right? I expected and hoped for more. I have 3 subscription customers at the moment. I've had one other customer who bought it once and then wouldn't talk to me again after that. I'm not sure why. I have no idea. And another customer who bought 1 bottle from me personally and then said she wouldn't take it anymore. So that's what I have right now. I have no distributors. I talked to only one person so far who has ever expressed an interest in that. He was very zealous. He won't return my calls or texts either. I have no idea why. I'm a Pro 1. I joined at the Platinum level. Everyone should, no matter what the sacrifice to get that money together. You should. If you're going to jump into the pool, don't dip your toe, right? Jump in the deep end. I did it at the $1,200 level because that's the highest one they had. If there was a higher one, I probably would have done that, because I decided at the moment that I made the decision to do this, I know me, and I will, I know me. My passions will wane. I'll second guess myself. I'll question my decision. But if I jump into the deep end of the pool, I have no choice but to swim, right? So I did. And now I'm swimming. Initially, I did not. Well, my wife didn't. She's for me. She's supportive. She always has been in this. But I never expected her to do it with me. And that's just my courtesy to her, because just because I decide to do something doesn't mean my spouse should have to also. But fortunately for me, and I didn't realize how important this was until she did it, she has been actively participating with me. She went to the EA with me. She's going to start going to the LVs with me. Last night we got home. I'll talk about that in a minute. We put together our list of people, and we included people she knew, and turns out she knows about 50 times as many people as I do, which is very good. So currently she's working with me actively, which is awesome. What I'm learning, you probably can deduce what I'm learning. Change must occur. The person I am, as awesome as I am before I joined LifeVantage, as awesome as I was, is not the person yet who's going to be an Elite Pro 10. or even 7. Right now my sights are really set on, no, they're not that high yet. But I know, because I believe what I hear, that if I keep doing the right things, it just will happen. So, but right now I'm not the kind of person that an Elite Pro 10 needs to be. I don't have all of those qualities. I don't have all of those habits. And as I heard yesterday, because I take the time to listen to things that will teach me, I heard yesterday that, or last night, that what you are changing into, you have to change into the person that you want others to desire to emulate. And that makes perfect sense, because this is all about duplication of effort, right? I can't get enough customers all by myself to make the kind of income so I can quit the day job. I have to teach others to do the same thing. I have to build a team. And to build a team, you have to be a team leader. And to be a leader, you have to be someone that others can aspire to become. And so you always have to be growing yourself. And so this is a growth challenge. Being a successful LifeVantage distributor is a growth challenge. Being a distributor itself, as it have been told over and over, and I believed but didn't quite understand or comprehend or necessarily subscribe to, being that distributor is a simple thing. The steps to do it are, a child can do them, and in fact my 7-year-old actually does do them. He's talked to all of his peers. I'm sure he's told his teacher. He's taught her. And I do rehearse with him certain definitions to make sure that he is saying the right things. So a child can do this. But an adult sometimes can't, because of the things inside of us that block us. Our emotions, our lack of practice at being sociable, our introversions that we've never pushed ourselves outside of. Things like that. This is a change experience. The EA, the Elite Academy, I learned a lot. I was told before I went that you have to go to all events, and I believe that on faith, because I'm young in this and I haven't gone to them all yet. I've been to many, and every time I do, I'm glad I did, and I don't regret it, and I learn a lot. So I went, and I was told, though, before I went, that when you go there, you're going to hear things and experience things that will change you, and you will not come back the same person that you went as. I believed this as well on faith. And I went, and I saw things, I heard things, I experienced things. I opened myself up to it and allowed it to happen. That's very important, because a person can close their minds, and it doesn't matter how much good you immerse them in, it's not going to get in there if you don't personally let it. So I did let it, and I did learn a lot, and I did gain a lot of faith. Well, I'll tell you what I did learn, or what I did come back with immediately. And that was 2 things. I mean, there was a whole lot more than that. But the big 2 things that stuck out to me. At the end of the second night, when our Amish brother Elmer spoke, I was floored. I was humbled and a little ashamed, actually, at the small things I wrestle with. And then hearing about the large things he has wrestled with. And not only has he wrestled with them, he overcame them. And he sacrificed so much more than I ever considered that I would even have to do it. Now, frankly, I think he sacrificed more than I'm willing to. And I think that if he could do it again, he might do it differently, based on what he said. But, nevertheless, the man has no electricity. The man lives a life that, frankly, I would love to live. And I mentioned it to my wife several times that I want to become Amish. And she says, no, I can't. She might be able to tolerate a beard. I don't know, the haircut, it's not really for me. But, I'll do it. I love what they represent, our Amish brethren, and the simplicity and the humility and the work ethic. There's a lot to be learned from that. So, listening to Elmer was a huge boost for me, a huge inspiration, very humbling, and gave me a good self-context. The second thing that moved me, or that happened, is, well, before I went to the academy, like I say, I've been in this company since August, however many months that is, 8 till now, whatever. Math is not my thing in the morning. I admired this company consistently. Everything I learn about them, I admire them more. I like them a lot. I talk highly of them. I think highly of them. But after this academy, I love them. And the reason is, or the thing that did it, I could already see their love for us and everything they did. They poured themselves into that academy. And they do this, at first I thought this was only once a year, but they do it every 3 months? They pour themselves out to us every 3 months. And when I say pour themselves out, it's time, it's energy, it's mental effort, it's desire, it's sincere love for us that they do this. You can see it. You can't deny it. It's not faked. There's no way to get, especially with us, who thrive on and strive for authenticity in every cell of our body, puns intended. The people at corporate are authentic, and they authentically love us. But I still get emotional every moment, every time I think about this, because it's the exact same emotion that I have every time I think about a funeral of a loved one that I've been to. Because when Darren posthumously awarded the elite status to Adam West, and it wasn't just the fact that he himself had trouble maintaining composure, it was the fact that they thought to do it. The fact that they brought his mother there and they awarded it to her on his behalf. What company does that? What human being does that? It happens, of course, but it's not common. This is an uncommon company, unique company, and it's publicly traded, and it's set to go into the hundreds of billions of dollars in profit in the next few years. And yet, they are motivated by love. Profit's there. They're realistic. We're realistic. But that's not their motivation. What company behaves like this with such sincerity and authenticity and love for their people, love for their family? So, I fell in love with LifeVantage, and I will always love them now. And that sounds weird, maybe. I'm a guy talking about love. But like I say, I'm passionate. Darren he did more than touch my heart. He moved me. He changed me. He changed my mind and heart. So, those are the two things I got from it while I was there. On the plane back, I didn't feel changed. I was still me. I had more knowledge. I had more experience to digest. I had more of those piles of gold nuggets that were shared with me, all in an effort and a hope to give me every possible thing I could need to succeed in this, which is awesome. But it wasn't until we got back, we landed in Austin and then got our car after we lost it in long-term parking because we failed to make note of where we parked. It's a huge place. Finally got it. And driving home is when the dots started to connect between what I'd learned and who I am and what I want and my whys. And something happened then. Now, am I changed? Only in the sense of everything that I allowed to be put into me is now moving me. You've perhaps heard the scripture, faith without works is dead being alone. It does no good to believe a thing and not act upon it. What do you gain from that? You gain nothing. We don't achieve anything based on believing it. We achieve it when we allow our belief to take us there, to move us there. So when we got home, the first thing, and my wife, it happened to her too. First thing we did is we sat down and we started doing the database like we should have done a long time ago, right? Like we were told. We did sort of kind of a database list, putting down only those names that we weren't afraid to talk to. The ones we thought, they'll probably like it. This one, nah, I don't think that's really going to be for them. We were told not to do that, right? But we did it. So we put together an unbiased list. We put everybody. We came up with 98 names, and we didn't get to finish because our little boy had to have supper. And we still don't have phone numbers with them. We just have the names. We have to get the numbers. But we did that. We picked up our dogs from the neighbor who watched them. And at that, on the way home, we decided we're going to have a home meeting. We're going to make ourselves do it. So we picked up the dogs from the neighbor that I don't know. And I invited him to that meeting. I told him a little about LifeVantage, the technology that they're pioneering, how new it is, how amazing it is, and told him it extends the life in mammals. You obviously love dogs. Yeah, this is for dogs too. We're going to have a home presentation on Thursday. We'd love for you to come and get more information about it. You won't regret it. And I did that, and it didn't feel uncomfortable. It wasn't scary at the moment. After I got back in the car, I was shaking like a leaf. I felt weak in the knees. I felt dizzy. I have no idea why. And then I got home. Sounds like the wife is out. Then I got home, and I called someone off my chicken list who I respect highly and used to work with. But I know he needs this information. He loves his dogs too. He loves his wife. He loves himself. So I called him. During the call, I was scared. Before the call, I was scared. After the call, I was still scared. Right now, I'm still a little scared. Just thinking, wondering, what is he thinking about me? He said he would come, though. He's coming to the meeting. And that's amazing. And today, I woke up, and this is the first night I've actually dreamed about LifeVantage. I didn't dream about the company. In my dream, I was talking to people about this. It was amazing. And I woke up very inspired and immediately texted 4 or 5 people at 4 in the morning and said, "Good morning. Time to make the donuts." And some of them I did mention something to because I've talked to them previously. Others I might have just said, "I care about you. Let's do lunch." But today, the day after getting home from the meeting, from the EA, today I feel changed. And I hope this continues on, and I hope that any of this that I've shared might help somebody else. Oh, and I thought I'd leave you with one thing. There's a lot of different habits we need to acquire and put on. I learned about ratcheting. Don't try to do it all at once. It's pointless. Ratchet. You pick one good thing, and you get that to be a habit for you. And when you're established in that, you pick another good thing. So, the first good thing you should pick, in my recommendation, my Pro 1 recommendation, is every morning, first thing. Pardon me. Time for Ben to get up for school. The first thing you should do is watch something motivational or inspirational, or read something motivational or inspirational. Something along those lines. When you wake up, ask yourself, what am I feeling today? Am I feeling scared? Well, then you watch something about overcoming fear. Am I feeling inconsistent? Watch something about being consistent. Do that for yourself. It'll set the pace for your day. You'll be glad you did, and you will then learn that, yes, this is a habit I must acquire. All right, thanks for your time. I plan on trying to do this every day. No. I will do this every day for myself and for whoever it helps. Thank you.